Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. It's Dr. Bushra from BNU. I'm gonna explain or give you a good brief about neuromuscular junction. These are the objectives of today. We're gonna name the structures of neuromuscular junction and follow the acetylcholine from pre to post synaptic muscles. And lastly, to demonstrate the factors that affecting the neuromuscular junction and some nowadays applications. So what's the neuromuscular junction? It's the synapse or the connection between the end plate motor neuron and the muscle fibers. This is the place where the nervous system communicates with the muscles to initiate the contraction. So by its name and by its definition, we can demonstrate the content of neuromuscular junction, which are the end plate neuron and the muscle fiber and the space between them, which is synaptic cleft. Let's follow the journey of acetylcholine from pre-synapse, which is the neuron end plate, to post-synapse, which is the muscle fiber or sarcolemma. By the way, the acetylcholine is our neurotransmitter here. And once it's synthesized, it's gonna be stored in synaptic vesicles to be protected from degradation. Once the impulses come from the brain as action potential, it's gonna reach the axon terminal that causes voltage-gated calcium channel to open, allowing the calcium ions to enter the neuron. Calcium ions trigger the synaptic vesicles to fuse with the presynaptic membrane that release the acetylcholine into synaptic cleft by exocytosis. So acetylcholine diffuses across the synaptic cleft and bind with acetylcholine receptors, which are the nicotinic receptors on the postsynaptic membrane or of the muscle fiber or sarcolemma. That is gonna activate the muscle, causing a contraction. The rest of acetylcholine that has not binded to the receptors gonna be degraded by an enzyme called acetylcholine esterase. Then the choline gonna be recycled and retaken to the neuron. As we mentioned before, the acetylcholine binding receptors are nicotinic receptors. Once it's activated, it's gonna allow the sodium influx. And of course, followed by depolarization and starting of action potential. And the action potential causes the muscle fiber to be contracted. Here is a list of the factors that are affecting the transmission in neuromuscular junction. You have to know which one is decreases and which one is increases the transmission, as the temperature and pH. Lower temperature gonna decrease the transmission, and acidity also gonna decrease the transmission. Some drugs like botulinum toxins or Botox interferes with acetylcholine release from presynapse. And diseases like myasthenia gravis, which is impairment of acetylcholine receptors function. Nowadays application, as we mentioned before, some drugs and some diseases like botulism and Botox, which is toxins that prevents releasing of acetylcholine from the presynapse. And the famous disease is myasthenia gravis, which is an autoimmune disease that destructs, or there is antibodies that destructs the receptors, which prevent acetylcholine from binding and activating the action potential in both synapses. Fortunately, there is a drug agonist or antagonist to acetylcholinesterase, which is the enzyme that degrades the acetylcholine, which called neostigmine, and it's allowing the acetylcholine to stay longer in the synaptic cleft. Thank you. These are our references, and these are the way of my contact.